So yeah, I've picked out a bunch of games that, well, 5 games that I've been playing recently to share with everyone. Okay, so my first one is called Pet the Pup at the Party. This one is quite a classic itch game. As the title suggests, you're at a party. You're kind of awkward with speaking to people. You don't want to look like you're just hanging around, not doing anything. So you have to find the pup and you gotta pet it.
Bullseye. You bullseyed who I am at the party, Rachel.
That's the thing. I honestly feel like everyone's been in that situation. Like you've lost your friend, they've gone, and now you have you're just standing there kind of awkwardly. So yeah, this game is a comedy game. It's first person. You're in this like procedurally generated house, which is huge. There's different rooms, there's different people. You got to dodge the conversation. So you're making your way through this house, and yeah, you have to find the pup. You got to pet it, and then it records your time and how fast you were finding that pup. It trains you for real life party situations where you're like, I've trained for this moment.
Listen,
where
there's
I've
no
been
better
left
time
alone.
than right now when that first party back is gonna be it's gonna be so critical that you know where the dog is.
So my second one is another kind of itch classic. It's called Leave Omar. This one's a bit more like, it's a narrative driven game. It's very whimsical. You play as a young boy who goes on a nice mushroom hunting walk with his grandma. This one is kind of special just because I think it came out years ago. 2016. So yeah, when this first kind of came out, it kind of touched a lot of people. Like it's kind of, I think it only takes you like 20 minutes, maybe half an hour to play, of you just walking through this beautiful autumnal forest, just chatting to your grandma. She's laying down some epic words of wisdom for you. It's just a very calm, relaxing game. Well, this next one stuck with me for a long time for the completely wrong reasons. It's a horror game called Sentient. There's a lot of horror games on itch that kind of focus on you being trapped in a room, right? And it's like, oh, it's a psychological horror. This kind of takes that structure. So you're stuck in a cement room. You're given a bunch of instructions to follow with the tennis ball. But the one quite disturbing aspect of this game is its hyper realism. The cement on the walls is so vivid. You can see the little bumps and grooves as you approach it. You like the tennis ball you're holding, you can see the fluff and the fuzz on it. And so there's this, as you're being given instructions that you have to follow, there's this kind of like tenseness about it. And this is all kind of exaggerated with the fact that in the corner of your room next to your, like kind of opposite your bed, is a small opening, like a small like little square doorway that's completely pitch black. And the thing is, because everything looks so hyper realistic, whatever happens, or if something jumps out or something crawls out, it's going to be super detailed in your face. And something does happen, which completely scared the crap out of me.
Okay.
The next one I've got on my list is Boreal Tales. This came out very recently. So a lot of the games you've talked about so far have been like maybe, half an hour. This is a fully fledged 2-3 hour narrative experience. It's in the PS1 style. You play as like a young woman who lives in a town that's slowly kind of being corrupted by something called the static. Not only is it in the PS1 style, like it's the era of videotapes, VHS tapes, those old kind of like that tech where something could go wrong.
Yeah,
like
it can degrade
static-y.
and age.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Okay.
It's a horror game, essentially. I would say more like surreal horror. I'm talking maybe more like Lynch, or maybe it's very similar to Kentucky Route Zero, if that was like a horror game. It kind of takes this narrative of like small town life, but there's something deeply wrong with what's happening to the community. There's a factory where workers are just disappearing and there's no union to protect them. Like it kind of handles those topics. Like there's a bit where you're trying to solve this murder and you come across this young boy whose neck, so this young boy's neck has been stretched and twisted around and his face is like this horrible like contour. It's really scary. So those two were quite intense, so I ended with a more fun one. This one is called Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I think this is a demo for a longer game in the future,
Right.
but it certainly grabbed my attention. This is kind of like a cutesy world of like anthropomorphic vegetables, and everything is like really nice, and when you start the game it's very charming, very Zelda-like, but suddenly you like the mayor of this place, is he an onion? I think he's Mayor Onion. He slams you with an eviction notice and he says, "Hey, Turnip Boy, you've not been paying rent. You've not been paying your taxes, so what up?" And so because you're a turnip and you don't have any money, you have to do his bidding. But he basically asks you to go gather items for him, like defeat certain bosses for him. Like there's a massive pig that's currently like invading a barn nearby, and he's like, "Go clear it out." And as you kind of talk to the residents of I can't remember the village name, but as you start talking to them, they're all like bad mouthing the mayor, being like nothing's the same since he's died. And I just really appreciate the humor of this one.